Hi guys, this is Daniel. Welcome to my new video. In this video, we will talk about how I manage my bird room during the molt and a few things that you need to look out for in your birds when they are in this very stressful period for them. So let's go. The molt should be managed differently for two types of birds, flighted and unflighted birds. Here you can see a bird that was born last year, and I got some chicks out of him this year, and this is his first molt where he will shed his feather and his tail and wing feathers, and that's how a bird becomes a flighted bird, by changing and molting out his flight feathers. The difference is that it's a bit more stressful for them because they will start losing their tail feathers first, the wing feathers. As you can see, the wings on this guy look a bit rough, and after that they will start molting out the more downy feathers. Here we can see some young coronas, which are unflighted birds. They've been born this year and they are on their first molt. They are not going to mold their tail and wing feathers this year. They're just mold their down ear feather. Since they are young, they've started molting 3 months or so after being born. During the molt, for Gloucesters, you need to have them separated on a few criteria to make sure that they have the best chance of molting out healthy and as stress-free as possible, to make sure they will be ready for the coming breeding season. Because if the molt is not good for the birds, then they will not perform the whole year. As of now, the young ones are separated, consorts in one fly cage and coronas in the other, and there are the old hens, just the consort ones. I only have 2 corona older hens, which I put in together with the younger ones because I didn't have the necessary room, unfortunately, but that will be fixed soon. And you can keep consorts a bit more cramped, I would say, than you can keep coronas, because if they fight, the damage to their feathers would not be as detrimental to their show condition as it would be for the coronas. If, for example, one were to pluck his feathers from the corona. Once some new cages will come in, I will start and select the birds that I like the most, that stand out of the crowd, and I'll separate them and keep them in individual cages to give them the best chance of molting out in peace and becoming a great looking bird. I molt my adult cock birds in individual cages. I recommend doing that because they are very valuable to your stock, meaning they're essential for the continuation of your stud of Gloucester Canaries. And if for some reason you lose them, it won't be very pleasant and you'd have to find new cocks. Yes, hens are important, they lay the eggs, and if the hen is bred in your bird room is even better. But a hen you can use for 1 or 2 years, 4 maybe if you're lucky. But a cockbird, you can pair him up successfully for up to 7 years, and that uh, helps you out in keeping your quality in your stud. One thing that's very important during the molt is that they don't have excessive amount of light. Since I have some big windows on my left side, I don't use any lights, any artificial lights during the molt. And these birds in this cage, as you can see, I put the divider on top so they have a bit more shade and they are not very sunny, because the sun can stress them out, and can alter, if overexposed, can alter a bit the color of the feathers. And one of the most important things in the molt for your birds is providing them with sufficient baths, so they're clean of the feather dust, and they'll be able to shed the feathers more easily. I would recommend a minimum of at least once a week. I personally bathe my birds every other day in the molt to give them a day where they can dry out successfully and not have their feathers that are closer to the skin always moist. And one thing that I like to use for the baths is this salt right here from Vercelelaga called Orobat. I don't use this salt every time. I use it every other bath. So if I give them a bath on Monday, I'll give them just plain water. On Tuesday, no bath. On Wednesday, a bath with Orobat. And on Thursday, no bath again. And then restart with plain water, and so on and so forth. I have a few birds that generally refuse to wash themselves, and they would really benefit from being sprayed with a little sprayer. Make sure you only use this for your birds, and you would gently give a squeeze, and don't be too harsh, and they will soon start to enjoy it. If you see them running away from the spray, just stop. It means they've had enough and you don't want to stress them. See, it jumped away. Another very important aspect during the molt is the food that we provide our birds. The food should be divided in two categories, to say so, for adult birds, flighted birds, and unflighted. For your flighted birds, I would recommend just plain canary seed, fresh supply of grit always, and fresh water daily. That's the base of it. I wouldn't go overboard with anything else. What I also do besides this, once a week I give them in the water Mutavit, which is a vitamin supplement from Vercelelaga. It's water soluble and it has all the vitamins the bird needs during the molt. I just give them once a week in the water that, and a few days after I give them Biocol as well from Vercelelaga, which is a liver tonic, and it helps with the molt in birds. That's what I do for my adult birds, and if I feel like it, if I see that I know it would be beneficial, I would once a week, maybe even less than that, give them a finger drawer of conditioned seed, and that's it. Don't go overboard, especially with your males, because they might get very fat in this time, and if the males are getting fat, That will be a horrible thing for the breeding season. They won't be able to treat the female properly, and you'd have a bad time. For the youngs, I do the same: plain seed, water with Mutavit and Biocol, fresh grit, of course. But I gave them in the days that I'm not giving them something in the water. I'm giving them soft rearing food, and that's just pearl morbids with some dry egg food that I use, and sometimes I put a triabiotic in it and calcium, but maybe that's just once a week. In the molt, you will notice that your bird room will become a bit more dirty than usual. There will be a lot of feathers, and no matter how much you clean, the next morning your cages will look dirty from all the feathers flying around. And one other thing that's going to happen around this time, meaning September, your young birds will start to differentiate from females to males, and the young cocks will start chirping about and starting to learn to sing. One of the things that you should probably start doing around this time in the molt is to start training your showbirds if you want to go to the shows and you have a few specimens that you believe that are worthy. I would separate them and start attaching show cages on their breeding cage, on their stock cage, and waiting for them, putting a treat for them inside and waiting for them to get comfortable. I'll start doing that as soon as my show cages come in, and I'll probably show you guys a small video of how I train my birds this year. Usually the molt in canaries ends with the head feathers, so that's why probably you've seen a lot of people who take their birds to shows way before they should, and sometimes they have some pin feathers on their heads, especially visible in the coronas. That's it, guys, for the molt. Make sure you remember it's a very stressful period for our birds, and there's no need to add any undue stress from our part. Thank you guys for watching, and take care of your birds during the molt, because that's the only way we can have an enjoyable hobby and breeding season in the next year. Thank you, guys.